Annual assessment of safety performance at the Beaver Valley Power Station will be discussed with the public this month. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission staff will be holding a public webinar at 5:30 p.m. on May 22nd to discuss safety performance at nuclear power plants in Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and PA. A portion of the webinar will focus on Beaver Valley Units 1 and 2 in Shippingport, operated by Vistra Corp. NRC staff will provide information regarding the plant's safety performance in 2023 and the NRC's oversight activities at the facilities in 2024. All of the plants to be discussed operated safely in 2023. Gas prices are a cent cheaper in Western PA this week, averaging at $3.82 per gallon, according to AAA East Central's gas price report. The national average fell by 4 cents over the past week to $3.61. Today's national average is 2 cents less than a month ago, but 8 cents more than a year ago. The current price you can expect to pay for a gallon of gas in Beaver County is $3.89. Peoples Natural Gas is celebrating National Infrastructure Week by reaffirming their commitment to enhancing natural gas infrastructure. In 2024, Peoples plans to install 186 new miles of pipeline infrastructure, with 75 miles constructed as of May 6th. Peoples also are to deliver low-carbon fuels in the future, in addition to natural gas, while continuing to serve 700,000 customers in Western PA. Governor Josh Shapiro signed an executive order to establish the Hire, Improve, Recruit, Empower Committee. The purpose of the committee is to expand opportunity for Pennsylvanians seeking a career in public service. Shapiro signed the order during the Commonwealth Job Fair, where state agencies presented information on nearly 600 open Commonwealth positions. Additionally, the executive order will make it so that the state can hire non-United States citizens as long as they are legally authorized to work in the United States. And Amazon's self-driving robotaxi unit is being investigated by the U.S. government's Highway Safety Agency after 2 of its vehicles braked suddenly and were rear-ended by motorcyclists. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said in documents posted on its website Monday that it will evaluate the automated driving system developed by Zoox. Both crashes happened during daytime hours. The agency confirmed that each vehicle was operating in autonomous mode before the crashes. In one crash, a motorcyclist suffered minor injuries, and a Zoox driver reported minor injuries in the other. Zoox says it's cooperating in the investigation. Our newscast this hour is being brought to you by St. Barnabas, the perfect place for mom.
And I'm Bob. We're retired, and we live at St. Barnabas in the Village.
We used to have a house.
Lived in it for 40 years.
Raised our kids.
But it became too much. The upkeep, the stairs.
Moving seemed like such a hassle. We didn't even know where to start, so we didn't.
Until we met Cindy at St. Barnabas.
She talked us through our options.
Yeah, and she helped us with our move and all the arrangements.
There was so much stuff. Who knew we had 3 fondue pots?
But she made it easy.
So easy.
Now we enjoy ourselves.
Golf, the pool, new friends, shuttles to where we want to go.
The pub and the food.
So good.
There wasn't a long-term commitment or any large fees.
And they have a healthcare system on campus with doctors if we need it. The kids really like that.
The kids like to come and eat with us.
There's an easier, worry-free way to retire at the Village at St. Barnabas. Come visit us for a free and informative counseling session and personal tour.
I can't believe you waited so long.
I can't believe you waited so long.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Mostly cloudy with a chance of showers off and on throughout the day. We'll reach a high of 73. Showers likely tonight will drop down to a very mild low of 60. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with showers and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon. Look for a high near 71. Partly sunny on Thursday. There's a slight chance we may see an afternoon shower or two. A bit warmer with a high near 77. And mostly cloudy on Friday with a chance of afternoon showers. A high of 76 is expected. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Tuesday, May the 14th of 2024, at 10 minutes past 11, we've got a temperature of 65 degrees with cloudy skies in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Now, it's time to talk on Teleforum on Beaver County Radio. 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.3 FM, and beavercountyradio.com. And now, here is the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
Minutes after 11 o'clock. I love when a plan comes together. The last hour, I did very little. I talked to the folks from Pennsylvania Hot Rod, the first event that we have. First cruise is coming up this weekend, and I'm going to tell Mary Jo and Caitlin right now, I have no intention of breaking that because I'm welcoming you two, and you guys are going to talk. Good to see you again. First off, Mary Jo. You can say hi.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Caitlin's nodding. Caitlin's
Hi.
behind you. This is being live Facebook streamed. Mary Jo Morandini and Caitlin Wilson with the Beaver County Transit Authority. Can I get one little bit of ugliness out of the way just for a second?
Sure.
And it works out because Caitlin, you're the marketing person?
Correct, yes.
Oh, this works out. Ever since the new ad campaign has started, the one that ride the bus, right?
You jingle?
It's brilliant in that it's burned into all of our heads. We walk by each other and just blurt out, ride the bus. And let's talk about that first off. The advertising jingle, how much more interest have you seen from it? Because that's what advertising is about. And I got to believe that's one of the catchiest, most earworming jingles I've heard in a long time.
Well, it's kind of hard to tie the jingle to any kind of ridership increase, but we get a lot of positive feedback about it.
It burns in your
It
head.
seems to be a good fit for our county.
Yeah.
A little bit of country, a little bit of rock, and we get a lot of positive compliments on the jingle.
What's the process from the first meeting to us actually playing it on the radio? It's not a week or two deal, is it?
No, it took us a couple of months to develop the jingle. We listened to a lot of alternatives, and some were obviously better than others. The one that we ended up with, we thought was the best fit for the population in our county, and it seems to have paid off because, like I said, we do get a lot of compliments on it, and we use it whenever we advertise. I mean, we developed it for that reason. We want people to recognize that jingle and tie it to BCTA. So you're going to keep hearing it. So we hope everybody likes it.
Caitlin, how do you go about selecting a jingle? How do you solicit for a jingle? Just put word out and people send you, are there companies that do it, or is this freelance work that you're receiving and having to filter through?
So we actually went through a radio station we were advertising with. They had a team that they partnered with.
Okay.
So they were able to generate everything based on the lyrics that we provided them. And then from there, we gave them information about the vibe and what we liked about it, and they developed it from there. And then now it is.
And now people
here
walk
today.
by you and yell, ride the bus, as they're walking by.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about riding the bus. Mary Jo, I almost said viewership, is ridership back up? Is it still creeping up? Is it back to where it was, but no more?
Well, as everyone knows or expects, that the post-COVID changed BCTA dramatically.
I remember talking about
We
plexiglass with you for a long time.
Yes, we had significant commuter
Mhm.
ridership. Pre-COVID, express service to Pittsburgh and our Route 1 service to Pittsburgh. And that diminished post-COVID because downtown Pittsburgh changed character. People were starting to work from home.
For sure.
And that hasn't really returned. But sometimes when there's not so good news, something good surfaces out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about rebranding here a little bit today, I hope.
Okay.
Because we're going to be a very, very different organization. We've just reallocated resources from that commuter market to attempt to develop a new vision for the authority, the one that's a little more customized for our population, the general public, the human service agency arena, employers in the county, and it's just going to be a very, very different BCTA. So our ridership is already coming back, And we haven't even really implemented any of the new services that we planned, the first one coming up in Midland in the fall. So the ridership is coming back. We transport over 400,000 fixed route riders a year. And pre-COVID, we were down in the 300,000. So it's starting to come back, even without that significant commuter market. People are relying on public transportation, and of course we continue to run our shared ride services, which carry like another 80,000 plus people. Again, some general public, more human service clientele in that program. So all in all, we're pushing close to 500,000 riders on the system. And we expect that to continue to grow as we pay attention to what people are telling us they'd like to see in the way of service. So stakeholders that we've interviewed include employers, the current ridership, the general public. We interviewed the elected officials in all the downtown areas, and many other stakeholders who develop this new vision for BCTA. And a lot of that new vision, as I said, includes more customized service. So when you think of Uber, Lyft, that's the kind of service that's going to be coming to Beaver County in the not too distant future.
And well, explain that to people that don't know what that is. It's really, I'm going to get into the rebranding in a second, but were you forced to rebrand because the commuter ride went away, or is this just the direction transportation's going with things like Uber and Lyft?
I think that was the direction we would take anyway.
Okay.
It has a lot to do with the feedback that we got from stakeholders and just a kind of instinctive feeling that we need to be a little more specialized, more customized to the riders. We have a lot of low-income people who don't have cars living in the county. There are disabled people who can't use the fixed route service, and maybe even the DART program. They just require something more specialized. And the employers fall into that group too. So it's a little bit of both. And like I said, sometimes good things come when, with change. And I think that's what's happened here at BCTA. We can talk about Midland a little bit to get a little better understanding of same-day service, but let's maybe let Caitlin talk a little bit about rebranding, because in a week or so, people are going to see new colors, new graphics on our buses, new schedules, all of that.
Mary Jo Morandini and Caitlin Wilson are my guests from Beaver County Transit Authority. All right, how much cooler are the gun buses get? We getting tie-dye working? What are we doing?
Not quite tie-dye, but we're close.
All right.
They're pretty cool. So with the rebranding, there were a whole lot of changes. Some of them have already been rolled out to communities. The bus stop signs, if you drive around any of the towns, all of our bus stop signs have been replaced.
I haven't seen that. I got to check. Okay.
So they now have higher contrast. They have QR codes on there for real-time information. So drivers have easier access to that, as well as they're just better for disabled folks, colorblind people. They're much easier to read. All new schedules and brochures, so everything has been updated there. They look a whole lot better, but they also function better with that higher contrast similar to the signs. New bus designs are starting around this month, so they are very, very different than what we have now, and you will have no doubt that the Beaver County Transit is the bus that you're taking. And that was with the presence of us, especially in downtown Pittsburgh. We wanted something that stood out to anybody who was riding, that for sure that you're getting on a Beaver County bus.
That's not taking me to Monroeville. That's my bus.
Yes. So a lot of it was that. And with the addition of the Midland service, we reached a point where we now had 3 separate services operating under one roof, and changing just the branding and the messaging to help develop that idea that all of our administration is the same thing. Really just bringing everything under one roof. Whereas before, the fixed route and DART had been very separate in their branding with separate logos.
For sure.
We now have same color palette, same fonts, everything that carry across, so it's a lot more unified message than what we had before.
Look for a blue bus.
Yes.
Look for a blue bus?
Yes.
All right, I want to ask you quickly before we get to news, Mary Jo, how are you going to keep the cost down? Most of the time, rebranding and specializing service costs more money than the general service. How do you balance those two? It's obviously a better way, but it can be a more expensive way operating.
Rebranding is very expensive, but we haven't done it for over 30 years.
Yeah.
So it was time to do that. It was time to make that change. It just coincided with, again, the new reimagined BCTA, the new vision that we have. And Caitlin talked a little bit about how we have 3 separate logos. DART is now going to be called Shared. And there's some postcards going out to our ridership that indicate that name change.
And they need to know that because
Absolutely.
I see a DART, but I know that logo. You need to know to look for the new. Okay.
You'll see the Shared logo on the new buses that are going to start being delivered here next week, as a matter of fact. And then fast forward for the fixed route, it's just BCTA Forward. And then the same day on demand service we're calling BCTA Connect.
What is same day on demand? Call for a
Again,
ride?
I kind of likened it to Uber and Lyft. There's an app that you can download on your phone, and you can schedule your trip through that app. Now, if you're afraid of that technology, you can also call our scheduling office and they'll help you out. But the app allows you to schedule your trip same day, unlike Shared or the DART program, which is 24 advance reservation. Curb to curb service, again, unlike the DART Shared program, which is door to door. It's basically Uber Lyft. There's an app and you schedule your trip. I'm not sure what the fare is going to be yet, but we're going to be in the $2-3 range. And we're starting that service.
That's nothing.
Yeah, we're starting that service in Midland. And as
Why?
we went through the planning process, the demographics in Midland, it was just the most salient information that we could possibly see. A lot of disabled people, low-income people, large minority population, unemployment somewhere in the range of 11+%. 14% of the households don't have a car, and another 25% or so have one car. They're isolated. No grocery store, no bank, no medical offices of any kind, not even an urgent care exists in Midland. And of course, they're about 15 minutes from Beaver, and they are about the same, a little less, to the Calcutta area in Ohio, the nearest area heading west. So they're isolated, right? And people talked about that all the time. And so we decided to pilot this same day service in that community. And we purchased 2 7-passenger accessible vans for that service. And we're about to award a contract for the software, the scheduling software for people to schedule their trip. And we're going to make some decisions, like on the fare, very, very soon, what will be in the $2 or $3 range. And we're going to start a major marketing effort, including a travel training program there, so people can get too accustomed to it. We've been working with the Human Service Agency Network in Midland, and they're going to help us with a lot of the promotional activity that we're doing. We've isolated a very small zone in Calcutta as the service area in that area. And it's basically Calcutta. The zone is about 1.5 miles long and 3/4 mile wide, but there's about 50 destinations in that small area. And concentrating everything in that area makes it easier to provide that service, because again, it takes like 15 minutes to get from Midland to that community. So that's why we picked Calcutta. Another reason is we're partnering with Columbiana Rural Transit System, and it's called CARTS. And people who want to move around that zone or even go on to East Liverpool can ride the CART shuttle bus for only $1. So I think it's just a fantastic service coming to that community. We hope they utilize it. We believe it'll be very successful. But I think it's a very, very good place to start.
Is it a service that has grown into need because of the demographic changes in Western PA, or is it something that we needed 20 years ago and just didn't know we needed yet?
Well, the DART program, again, it's going to be called Shared, certainly provides a valuable service. But one of the issues with the DART program is that it's not necessarily affordable to everyone.
Right.
It's funded largely through the lottery, and the people who use it have fare subsidies from the human service agencies like the Beaver County Office on Aging, the Beaver County Rehabilitation Center, the Medical Assistance Transportation Program, and others. And that makes that service affordable to them. But there are other low-income people who don't qualify for one of those programs, and that requires a fix. We may see some changes in the shared program in the coming years, too. The state's looking at different models for that service as well. But when you think about out-of-county medical, and you think about out-of-county employers like those in the airport area, the distribution centers like Amazon, the shared program doesn't work, and frankly, the fixed route doesn't work because we don't have enough density to run a fixed route in a corridor. So we think, in addition to the issues we're solving in Midland, our longer-range plan calls for an additional same-day on-demand service for out-of-county medical and out-of-county employment opportunities.
All right, I want to talk about that. We'll do that after the break. Mary Jo Morandini and Caitlin Wilson, Beaver County Transit Authority News is next. How much does a bus cost? I want to buy a bus. How much does a bus cost?
Well, it depends on the type
I
of
want a
bus.
big bus.
Well, a coach that we've been using on our express service is probably an $800,000 range.
I'm out.
Beaver County Radio proudly welcomes Fry Transportation to their family. You're listening to 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP, live from the all-new Fry Transportation Studios.
You're busy, no time to cook, you're hungry, and the kids are too. Don't stress. Make it a McDonald's dinner tonight. Download the app and get McDelivery right to your door. Whatever you're hungry for, McDonald's has it. You're happy, the kids will be too. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Looking for home services? Call Patriot Home Care in Beaver Falls. Their staff provides company, conversation, and companionship to all patients, ensuring medications are taken on time, participating in fun community activities, personal care, meal prep, and light household work are all services provided by Patriot Home Care, all thanks to the hardworking and selfless team members. Call Patriot Home Care at 724-506-8911 or stop in Patriot Home Care, 1225 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls.
The Rochester True Value, located inside the Shop and Save on the Ohio River Boulevard, is proudly serving the community. The Rochester True Value is independently owned and operated and has experienced workers who can help you with your home projects. The Rochester True Value has tools, products, and all the equipment needed for you to get the job done. The Rochester True Value inside the Shop and Save is open and ready to help with your home improvements. That's the Rochester True Value in Shop and Save on the Ohio River Boulevard.
Beaver County Transit Authority connects you to where you want to be. The doctor's office or well-deserved shopping spree will take you to wherever you please.
The Beaver County Transit Authority Fast Forward Summer Pass is back in 2024. The application is now available online at bcta.com or in person at the Rochester Transportation Center. The days are getting longer and the weather is warming up. Don't miss your chance to travel around Beaver County and even into Pittsburgh all summer long. Children ages 6 to 21 ride free between June 1st and August 31st.
Safe, no fuss, leave the driving to us. Adventure's just a ride away. Beaver County Transit Authority, BCTA. ride the bus.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com. Here's Curtis Walsh.
Good morning. We can expect cloudy skies today, reaching a high around 72 degrees. We'll have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after this look at news. Punxsutawney Phil's offspring have names that might just help the famed weather forecasting groundhog to predict when spring will begin. Phil's human handlers chose Mother's Day to announce that the two kids born this spring to fill in his partner Phyllis are named Sunny and Shadow. Sunny is a female and Shadow is a male. The club received hundreds of suggested names for the babies. The groundhog family currently lives in a climate-controlled burrow at the local library. Dr. Cyril Wecht, a pathologist and attorney whose biting cynicism and controversial positions on high-profile deaths such as President John F. Kennedy's 1963 assassination, has died at the age of 93. Wecht's death was announced by the Administrative Office of Pennsylvania Courts, which did not disclose a cause or place of death, saying only that he passed away peacefully. Wecht also investigated other high-profile deaths ranging from Elvis Presley to Michael Jackson. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission staff will hold a public webinar at 5:30 p.m. on May 22nd to discuss the agency's annual assessment of safety performance at nuclear power plants in Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. NRC staff will discuss performance at Beaver Valley Units 1 and 2 in Shippingport, which are operated by Vistra Corp. During the webinar, NRC staff will provide information regarding the plant's safety performance in 2023 and the NRC's oversight activities at the facilities in 2024. Gas prices continue to trend lower, with the national average falling by 4 cents over the past week to $3.61. Gas prices are a penny cheaper in Western PA this week, averaging at $3.82 per gallon, according to AAA East Central's gas price report. The current average price here in Beaver County is $3.89. The man who led the meme stock craze in 2021 returned to the social platform X for the first time in 3 years. Keith Gill, who is better known as Roaring Kitty, posted an image Sunday of a man sitting forward in his chair, a meme used by gamers when things are getting serious. GameStop, which Gill turned into a hot stock after pitching the company on Reddit, has once again saw a massive jump similar to the spike in 2021. Shares of GameStop, which have faded steadily since 2021, jumped 74% Monday, and AMC Entertainment Holdings, another meme stock, went up 78%. And Governor Josh Shapiro signed Executive Order 2024-01 establishing the Hire, Improve, Recruit, Empower Committee to expand opportunity for Pennsylvanians seeking a career in public service. The governor signed the executive order during the Commonwealth Job Fair, where over 40 state agencies set up recruitment tables with information on about 580 open Commonwealth positions for over 500 Pennsylvanians in attendance to learn more about career opportunities in public service. The executive order will also make it so that the Commonwealth can hire non-United States citizens if they're legally authorized to work in the United States.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Mostly cloudy with a chance of showers off and on throughout the day. We'll reach a high of 73. Showers likely tonight will drop down to a very mild low of 60. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with showers and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon. Look for a high near 71. Partly sunny on Thursday. There's a slight chance we may see an afternoon shower or two. A bit warmer with a high near 77. And mostly cloudy on Friday with a chance of afternoon showers. A high of 76 is expected. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Tuesday, May the 14th of 2024, at 35 minutes past 11, we've got a temperature of 66 degrees with cloudy skies in Beaver County. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Curtis Walsh on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live at beavercountyradio.com.
Talk about what's happening in Beaver County or around the world on Teleforum. 724-843-1888. 724-774-1888. It's Teleforum with Eddie Crow.
Indeed, it's 25 minutes until noon. Nice outside. It's not pouring rain. It's not freezing. Get over it. Mary Jo Morandini and Caitlin Wilson are my guests this hour. from the Beaver County Transit Authority. And if you missed the discussion earlier, Mary Jo, the new jingle has people almost fist fighting in the halls because we'll walk by each other and say, ride the bus real quick. And it is absolutely stuck. With the new jingle and rebranding, that means new programs. And I wanted to ask you about one of them that I heard on the commercial. When I was a kid, if I could have ridden the local transport bus for free, it would have changed my life. Talk a little bit about the kids program or the youth program going on with BCTA.
I'll defer to Caitlin because she developed it.
Did you really?
As a matter of fact, it's an award winner.
Well,
she just won a national award for that program.
All right. How did this start?
So the Summer Youth Pass was a program that we had established before I started. But originally it was 75 cents for kids to ride, and it was between the ages of 3 and 16, which we found was an age group that didn't really need it as much as college students and those who are in high school graduating, trying to figure out how to navigate life with the fixed route system. So with that, we developed it to be open to ages 6 to 21, and we also made it free rides. And that program started last year, and it is back this year. Last year, we were able to provide 4,000 rides to youth in Beaver County, and hopefully this year we continue that trend. We found that the Summer Youth Pass is a really, really good way to build riders for life, making it an option rather than just a necessity for people, where children are able to make the choice to use public transportation rather than it just being something they have to do.
Did you keep track of where the free rides from last year were going? Are there certain places where you were getting more people taking advantage of that program? Was it libraries? Was it going into the city? Was there any breakdown that you got?
We didn't see a lot of into the city.
Okay.
There was a lot of like main towns, so Beaver Falls, New Brighton, any sort of like downtown area tended to be the highest usage of that.
Just numbers wise, do you know what age group uses the bus system the most, Mary Jo?
I don't remember our most recent survey,
Okay.
except generally speaking, it's a pretty diverse population. Seniors I know are about 10%, and of course they ride free under the lottery program. I don't know, Caitlin, if you remember that survey a little more than I do, but in general, I remember being pretty diverse. All age groups, all demographics.
Is it more an economic situation that's drawing the demographics together?
Probably, other than the commuter group.
Okay. And the commuter group, you said that's the one that's not coming back?
Well, we still run express service to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And the service level that we currently operate is pretty productive, but because of the work from home philosophy of a lot of the employers, the ridership varies by day, and the peak days are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And
that's when
obviously people Monday and Friday are working from home.
Yeah.
But what level we have on the street seems to be appropriate for the ridership that we have. We don't like to run non-productive service. As I mentioned earlier, I think we've reallocated the resources that we use for commuter service to, the newer same day on demand type service. So it's an allocation adjustment, and I think it was a good decision. We just don't choose to run non-productive service. We do struggle a little bit sometimes with late night service because we want to operate it because there are low income jobs that involve shifts.
Second and third shift, sure.
And so we want to get those people home. That may change and move into the micro transit or same day on demand service at some point. So sometimes there's a reason to run something a little bit less productive than what your regular or normal standard would be. But for the most part, I think the level of service we have into Pittsburgh is appropriate.
Is there a non-productive number? This bus holds X amount and consistently is only drawn this many. Is that when it starts getting looked at as, how valid a service or that route is?
We have standards that we're revisiting right now, And if you look at the lowest productive service, it would be that evening, which I said is a little bit difficult to cut because those are people that really need it.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday is generally less productive than other days. But again, for many people, that's their day off, that's their shopping day. So that's all still under evaluation. The other thing we're considering that might drive up that productivity, and so we don't want to make a very hasty decision on it, is in January of 25, we want to go to 60-minute headways. And right now we're running at 65-minute headways, and I'll explain what that means.
Thank you.
Okay. All our buses transfer in Rochester. They all meet up there at about the same time to make transfers very convenient. So if you live here in Beaver Falls and you want to get to the mall, you would transfer from Route 1 to our Route 2 bus. Well, the 60-minute headways allows us to have the same time point at each stop in the system. So if you live in Beaver Falls right now and your bus comes at 9 a.m., the next hour it'll come at 10:05, and the next hour it'll come at 11:10, and then it'll come at 12:15. If we can get to 60-minute headways, then that bus will be at your stop at 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on. So the schedules are more consistent, and frankly, you don't even need a schedule, right? If you know, if your bus is going to be there at 9, you know it's going to be there at noon, you know it's going to be there at 5. So we think that will boost ridership and productivity. So we'll see how all that plays out, and we do have that plan for January of 25.
What is the timeline for all of these different plans? You're talking about, you said that's being looked at and this is being looked at. Is there a set date to say, okay, we sorted out all we wanted to and here's what's up? Or is it organic and it comes up as it comes up with each individual project?
No, it's incremental and very well planned.
All right.
The Midland service is going to start somewhere around November 1st. That's the first big change. And it had to be well planned because we had to buy vehicles. We had to buy the software.
Mm-hmm.
Those things all take time. There's a lot of training associated with it, not only for the customer, but for our own staff. Finance, customer service, marketing, all those people need trained on the new software. And the new service, the drivers need trained on the new service. They're not even familiar with Calcutta at this point.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of decisions that have to be made. So we have that pretty well planned out. And then the 60-minute headways will come next in January of 25. And currently we have a study going on to look at the expansion of this same-day service within the county and out of county. And that study will take about 3 months, should wrap up in late July, maybe early August. And then we'll look at the longer-term plans to expand service. So we have things planned out all the way to 2029.
Really? Okay, Caitlin, I've got to ask you this. You're involved with the marketing. What is the easiest thing to market about transit, and what is the most, not difficult, but what is the toughest thing to be able to find a marketing angle from?
I think easiest is, especially with younger people, the desire to make better choices about how we treat the environment. Public transit is the eco-safe option at the end of the day, and children and youth and even most adults, millennials, they all have more concern about how we are treating the earth and maintaining it how we do. So that's been so far the easiest one.
Okay.
But on the other hand, it's also the most difficult one. Because
why? Because old crusty, you-know-what's like me are screaming, I don't care about the environment, I want my bus?
No, we're a car-centric society.
Yes,
and
we are.
Developing public transit marketing in a car-centric society is a difficult task. Because at the end of the day, most of the time public transit has to be that choice rather than just something people are used to and accustomed to. People have been driving their whole lives. It's difficult to convince them to make a choice to use public transit.
How much more important is public transit? Not talking about environmental, but Mary Jo, just the people's lives. Are we using it more than we used to? In spite of the numbers going down, are we getting to the point we're buying into it, or...
Well, it depends on the demographic.
Okay.
Caitlin cited some of those reasons. But when you look at the demographics specific to our own county, what we see are a lot of low-income people who don't have access to cars. We consider them transportation disadvantaged. A lot of disabled people. We're paying closer attention to people that may even find our shared ride DART program hard to navigate. People that are blind, for example, people that are coming off dialysis treatment who can't necessarily take a longer trip home on the DART bus. That's where the same day on demand service comes in for groups like that.
I never thought about that. You got to get home, but you got to get home quicker.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of disabled people who need that more specialized service, whether they're affiliated with the Human Service Agency or not, hearing impaired, behavioral health, mental health issues. We're looking at all of that as part of the user groups that we need to serve moving forward. And then if you have people in Aliquippa, Ambridge, Midland, they need to get to work. And we don't have the density of population enough to just, start a fixed route or run a shuttle bus. So again, this newer vision, I think, comes into play. It could take time to implement it all, but it comes into play. And one thing I might mention, we're currently working with, I think the name of the company is Pro American. They have a facility in Ambridge that they're moving over the county line, just south of South Heights. And we're going to probably offer a subscription service to them, where they want a bus for their workers to get them to work, and they're going to be paying for that service because it's specific to their employees. It's not really public. And we're looking at more of that too, because these employers need to get workers to jobs, and they don't want to run a bus or a van. They need the transit authority to operate that type of service. So that's another service that we may actually be implementing in 2024. At least I'm pretty optimistic about it right now.
So basically a private shuttle service to a certain employer?
Right.
How did this first get brought to you? How did you first find out about it? Because this sounds like a brilliant idea that helps everybody involved.
Well, we've done it in the past, but more recently this company contacted us because they are relocating from Ambridge to a 100,000 square foot facility just over the county line. And there's 12 or 15 people who have been longtime employees of that company. They want to keep them. And so we've had one meeting so far, very positive, and it looks like it might come to fruition.
That sounds like a wonderful company that would take into account we're the ones moving, so we'll take care of getting you to where you've been coming.
So we might see more of that. We're not sure yet, but we might see more of that. We're very open to it, very receptive, because we really think of ourselves as mobility managers. You can see that evolvement, multiple types or modes of service that will be available to the public, and with a lot of technology to make it easier to navigate the system.
Yeah, Caitlin, and technology makes my head hurt, so I'm just going to get one of the old pamphlets and keep track of it like that. Caitlin Wilson and Mary Jo Morandini from the Beaver County Transit Authority are my guests. What should I have brought up or asked you that I didn't? Yeah, I'm calling play-by-play for the people not on Facebook.
I think the travel training probably is
we didn't cover all the
most
travel
important.
training.
What's travel training?
So we found that a lot of folks don't know how to use the bus. That's their biggest challenge on becoming a rider, is that navigating a fixed route system is very difficult, especially if you're new to the area or have never used it before.
Okay.
So we have developed a travel training program, which is across social media, our website. We're going to do in-person and online meetings for it. So it will basically be a full platform marketing and communications effort where it is a full walkthrough on how to ride the fixed route system, from reading the schedule on your website or on your phone to finding out where your bus is real time, to standing at the bus stop, getting on the bus, transferring. Everything is covered within it, so that basically riders are set up as soon as they get on the bus to ride the bus, and they know all the best practices and everything they need.
There's not that uncertainty. First time bus rider, okay, I got to keep on. When are they dropping me off? Where's my stop? All that?
Yes.
And it's right there on the phone, isn't it?
Yeah, it has. It'll be on our website. Well, it currently is on our website. So that tool is there. We're also making printed books so that riders are able to take it with them if they don't have access to the website on their phone. We also are doing, like I said, the social media videos. So there's that point of access there. And then walking people through the training to actually make it more personal, make it easier to understand.
What's the website?
It's bcta.com. And it is recently also just updated with the rebranding. So highly recommend checking it out anyway. But the travel training is certainly a useful tool, as well as our trip planner and bus tracker. Those are both also on there. They provide real-time information for our riders so that there's never a guess of when will my bus be here. You can just scan the QR code on the bus stop sign and it'll tell you the exact time that your bus will be there.
It absolutely does my heart good. You're helping people preemptively. You know that, right, Mary? You know that,
I
right?
hope so.
Yeah. Do you sit and just come up with these ideas, or do you study other public transit systems? Do you have people complain and say, I want this, and you go, oh, that's a good idea? Where do these ideas come from?
I think it's all of that.
Is it?
We're pretty active in our National Trade Association, our state association. There are a lot of trade journals that come out. We try to stay on top of all of that. But as I said a little bit earlier, some of it's just instinctive. I've lived here for I don't know how many years, since 1984. I've gotten to know the county, and that always helps when you know the people in your county, and you spend the time, you take the time to talk to those stakeholders and find out what do they see as a future vision for BCTA. So it's a mix of all of that, and we're pretty optimistic about it. I have to say one thing. I'm very surprised the number of people that can't read a bus schedule. We had
now you're looking at me. Sometimes all those numbers in one row get me a little frazzled.
We heard of a person in Aliquippa that found employment opportunity in Ambridge. And they were making a trip like an hour and a half long. They were riding the bus route north to Rochester and then catching another bus all the way through the mall area and Center Township to Ambridge.
They were getting a Beaver County tour.
When in fact their trip should have been 10 minutes long.
And just think, you just got that person an hour and 50 minutes every day for their life, rather than the Beaver County tour.
Yeah, her travel training program is excellent, and I think that's another reason we're pretty optimistic about continuing to see that ridership growth on the system.
Well, do me a favor, you'll come back and update us, because
we definitely will do that.
I don't remember the last time I interviewed somebody and everything they said sounded positive and like a good idea. And you guys, everything you said today, I feel better. Mary Jo Morandini and Caitlin Wilson from the Beaver County Transit Authority on Teleforum.
Beaver County Radio wants to pay tribute to our veterans on Memorial Day that have passed away. We are asking anyone who would like to pay tribute to a veteran that died in the line of duty, or any veteran who has passed away, to email a picture along with their name, years of service, and what year they passed away to fsparks@beavercountyradio.com. On Memorial Day, during live mic and teleform, we will periodically read the names of those veterans on the air to honor them. Beaver County Radio's Memorial Day tribute to our veterans is being brought to you by Patriot Home Care, Al's Corner, McGee Heating and Cooling, Alvarez Hunt Funeral Home, the J&J Spratt Funeral Home, and Beaver County Radio.
Aiming for success. Pennsylvania's 2nd Ecclesiastical Jurisdiction presents Friday Night Lights, May 17th, 7 p.m. at the Church in the Round, Aliquippa. Come worship. There will be several community praise teams, a Pittsburgh Steelers rep, and quick coach Nick Lapowich. Friday Night Lights, May 17th, 7 p.m. in the Round. Aim for Success, Tyrone Dixon, Jurisdictional AIM Chairman, will be your host. Come worship.
In Beaver County, there are many great stories to tell. One such worthy story is that of the Drug-Free Aliquippa program. Now in its 4th year, the project has enjoyed great success through in-school interaction, education, raising awareness, and data analysis. Drug-Free Aliquippa has a mission to help local youth make better decisions regarding alcohol and drug use. For more information or to find out how you can get involved, visit Drug-Free Aliquippa on Facebook.
Beaver County Radio and the Pennsylvania Hot Rod Company, along with AK Nahhouse, are teaming up to present Cruisin' on the Ridge, a series of car cruises happening the 3rd Saturday of every month this summer from noon to 4 p.m. at the Beaver County Radio Studios. First cruise, May 18th at the studio location. It's 4301 Dutch Ridge Road, Brighton Township. Beaver County Radio's Solid Gold Saturday host J.D. Merkel will be spinning tunes in the parking lot, food trucks, prize giveaways, raffles, and a 50-50 drawing. Cruisin' the Ridge is being brought to you by Falcone's Moon Township Ford, EXP Realty, the Beaver County Transit Authority, Shop and Save Beer and Wine, the Rochester True Value Hardware Store, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Patriot Home Care, Fry Transportation, J. Young Refuse, AK Nahhouse Furniture and Appliance, the Pennsylvania Hot Rod Company, and Beaver County Radio.
The warm weather is back, and that can only mean one thing. Pirates baseball for a 76th season is on Beaver County Radio. Make sure you set your radio dial to WBVP and 99.3 FM. Pirate baseball is being presented locally by the St. Barnabas Health System, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Falcone's Moon Township Ford, Keystone Wellness Program, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Patriot Home Care, Town Square Restaurant, and Beaver County Radio.
The Beaver County Office on Aging is calling all seniors to attend Senior Day from 10 to 11:30 a.m. Wednesday, May 15th at the Beaver Valley Mall in Monaca. Bloomfield Pharmacy is offering RSV, COVID, pneumonia, and shingles immunizations. Bring your health insurance cards and photo ID. All participants will receive a t-shirt and bottled water from Aetna Medicare Solutions. Ameriprise Financial will provide donuts and coffee. Stop by the Greater Pittsburgh Food Man Garden and Demo area and enter to win a $200 Lowe's gift card. Plus, there will be food demos, tech help, manicures, and much more. You don't want to miss it.
Saying thank you is easy when you're a company like Tom Sipes Demolition. What began as a dream, a man, a pickup, and a hammer has grown into a business that cannot be ignored. Family owned and operated for over 35 years, Tom Sipes Demolition performs all levels of demolition services, licensed, bonded, insured, and asbestos certified. If demolition work is in your future this spring, call Tom Sipes Demolition 724-495-2712 or visit TomSipesDemolition.com.
Your smile adds to your face value, and your teeth are so important to your life and to your good health. An expert in dentistry with many years of experience is Dr. Peter Montini. He and his staff in Beaver are able to help you through painless care. A free consultation with Dr. Montini could help you to decide on a new way of life, one that helps you to a better future. Call today. You will be glad you did. Smile.
When you talk about community involvement and safety, the name Fry stands at the forefront in Beaver County. Fry Transportation's mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their communities, best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. There's nothing more important than the safety of their students, employees, and community members. Fry Transportation, where the quality of their organization is characterized by the makeup of
It's
the
the
individual.
sound of Beaver County. Presented by St.